Selection there called here in English called Animals Like Us. I thought that kind of appropriate for the day here on GJRB Online, especially for those who are deciding to cause all kinds of havoc and terror over a president of the United States, for crying out loud. Come on, people. Good grief. Grow up. He's president. It's over. Come on now. Do we really have to go through this consistently? Do we really have to, whine and cry and break things just because you didn't get your way? Really. Really. Give me a call on that. Come on. I want to know why you're so darn... I don't know. Okay? Area code 563-613-4260. And this is way out there on GJRB Online. Across America and around the world. Glad you could be with me today. You're on GJRB Online. And happy that you could be a part of it. So let's get started on this. So what do you think about that? We're going to talk about this now. So if you don't want the kids to be in the room, if you think they're going to be scared by this particular piece, please do so. Just click out of this program. Whatever it is you're going to do, just, do what you need to do to, so that, we don't have this fear, and the kids won't get scared. So, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, it's called Planet X. Is there a Planet X? Is it headed our way? Will it collide with Earth? There's a prediction going around that in November, what is considered the 10th planet could be moving on the collision course towards Earth. In a recent Coast to Coast show with George Norrie, Marshall Masters, who's a former CNN science features news producer, and he's a freelance writer and television analyst. He's also a publisher of Yowusa, or YOWUSA.com. Since 1999, he had been researching some Earth changes and Nibiru flyby-related topics, including the sustainable survival communities and catastrophic crop circles, impacts in the events, and future technologies. Marshall sees a dark cloud coming, but a positive future coming up out of this Planet X. Marshall Masters was on a recent Coast to Coast show, and George Norrie asked him, what about this Planet X? Where exactly is it located?
It's between Mars and Jupiter on the opposite side of the sun. We're in a matching orbit. It's moving around the sun much like we do, so we're slowly closing on it.
And is it hiding from sight? I mean, yeah, it's just hiding. You can't really see it unless you have good equipment or something. I don't know. Is it hiding from sight?
People are finding it. There's just tons of observations. This is a system, so they're spotting multiple objects in the system, and the amount of, I call it validation reporting, and I've never seen so much of it since I started this. It's just amazing. And people are spotting it. You're going to see it with objects that are, near behind the sun. You're going to catch them around sunrise or sunset, because that's when the sunlight is down enough that you can see them.
And is there going to be a time when everyone is going to see this Planet X?
Yes.
Well,
this year.
about when?
Well, according to Ed Dames, we're going to all see it in November of this year. When we do, it's going to be about the size of the moon. And Bob Dean in 2008 made exactly the same prediction. So, the way it's coming around, the way we're seeing it right now, we're going to see it this year. We're already seeing it. The question is when are people going to believe what they're seeing?
Yeah. When are people going to believe what they're seeing? I really don't know. I kind of wonder myself, if I do see this thing, if I do see this planet, I don't know, should I believe this? I mean, I'm going to do some looking around. I like I said before earlier in the beginning of the show, I was going to go up and actually, well, when the weather is nice, I don't know, if we get a decent day where the sun's out and I'm outside and I could grab if my bike had a front tire, I would probably hop on it right up somewhere where I could see it, where I could see the sunset. So I could have a look and see exactly where, what this is. I mean, I could probably go in the car. I could probably go in my car and drive up there or somewhere where I can see it. But you have to wonder. And George Norrie asked Marshall, I mean, how close is this planet going to get before it causes any kind of chaos?
Well, it really is already starting to spring it. The problem is that we don't see it, George.
I know. In all ways.
And it's,
But it will pass once it starts going away again, right? Until the next cycle.
By the time it starts passing, that's when the real dying is going to happen.
I mean, do you accept Sitchin's thoughts? It's a 3,600-year elliptical orbit?
Yeah.
You do?
Okay. It is a 3,600-year orbit, and it is clockwise, not counterclockwise. And that has also been maintained by Munoz-Ferrata.
Do you think
Harrington? They both said the same thing. It's in a clockwise orbit.
Do you think astronauts on the ISS see it?
There's people that are catching stuff off the ISS, but I look at it and that stuff gets sponged. You think they're going to let us see anything that's going to come off of that?
Of course not, unless it's a mistake and it leaks in.
Yeah, but, the point here is that everyone's looking out there. Where you got to look is where you live, because that's what's going to kill you, not what's out there. What's out there is out there. If you got a sinkhole that opens up under you, you're dead. You're in an earthquake, you're dead. You're in a massive volcanic eruption, you're dead. People are dying around the world from earthquakes and volcanoes. The activity is really coming up. These are the things that kill. So that's what I'm really focused on right now.
Yeah. See, he's concerned about the situation that it's going to cause. And what is going to come off of it, what's going to happen. This thing, this planet colliding with Earth reminds me of a George Powell movie. And I think that's what his name is. He was the one who made that movie called When Worlds Collide, which I'm going to look for on my Roku box because I would think it's on there somewhere. I thought I saw it a while back when I was playing with it. And if I can find that movie, I got to watch it because I'm telling you right now, this movie, you got to wonder if this movie predicted something like this. It's an old movie from the 1960s, I think, either late 50s or early 60s. A disaster movie, kind of a scary movie kind of thing. And it depicted a collision course, planet, that the Earth was a collision course. In the movie, they pack up some people and they put them in a spaceship, and they have them. The spaceship I guess they build a spaceship, and this spaceship would go up to this other planet, and they would live there. But my thing is that the movie doesn't make sense in that why would you go to a planet which is on a collision course toward Earth and go there, even if it isn't habitable? I mean, it doesn't make sense to do that because you're only going to end up being smashed up and destroyed anyway. Good movie, though. I'll look up the information on that. And the next Way Out There or the next Gary Rustin program, wherever I plan another Way Out There, I'm going to put that show. I'm going to find that movie, and I will tell you the details of it, because it's sketchy, because I don't remember. I saw it dozens of years ago, back in the late 90s, and I haven't seen it since. And it ran on TBS, I think, the last time it was on. Either TBS or TNT, one of those two Turner channels. And haven't seen it since. It's back in the days when Turner ran some good stuff yet. Anyway, you're listening to Way Out There on GJRB Online. What do you think of this? If you're one of those that maybe traveled, let's see, to a place where you can see the sunset and clearly, tell me if you've seen what you think is Planet X. Tell me if you've seen Planet X. Give me a call on this. Area code 563-613-4260. If you've seen Planet X, which they say is by the sun. Don't look at the sun. Don't look at the sun. Just look, I think, to the right of it. And that is Planet X. Let me know. Give me a call on that, because I'd love to hear what your input is. Area code 563-613-4260, or you could go in my chat room and leave me a message. I'm on the web-based board right now, so go on there and leave me a message, and I'll see it light up on my. There's like a balloon arrow here. Balloon, just go there. Comic Book Balloon, which is on the icon on the GGRB widget. And you can talk to me live right here on GJRB Online. And I will respond to you live on the air. Okay. And, of course, I'm also going to do this while I got the chance. I'm going to go into Skype, and you can contact me there as well. And that's Gary J. It's Gary.Russin on Skype. Okay, Gary.Russin on Skype. You can contact me there, and we can talk about this. Because it's interesting. It really is. It's interesting. Okay, and oops, I'll do that again. Sometimes it doesn't. Try again. Just press the wrong key too. Okay. Let's see. And sometimes I'll hit the keys real fast, and what happens is when I do that, I obviously mess up my password. There we go. We're there. That's it. That is where we're at. We are now on Skype. Gary.Russin on Skype. You can join me there and talk to me on the air or on the GGRB cell, area code 563-613-4260, and the line is right here. And you can talk to me about this Planet X. If you've seen it, call me and tell me about it. Tell me if it's real. Area code 563-613-4260. And later on, he talked about cosmic wave. I don't understand this cosmic wave thing, but he talked about cosmic wave.
Yeah, so the question really is not, when am I going to see it with my own eyes? The question is, when am I going to believe what I am seeing is a clear and present danger? That's the correct question. And, people right now they're haunting YouTube. And, it's like a old Cheech and Chong movie. They're just sitting there. And YouTube is the bong, And they've turned into tribulation couch potatoes, and they go from one video to the next, to the next, to the next. I can just see them there going, wow, man, look at this, look at that.
Far out.
Far out, dude. Don't bogart the bong. And they just think they're spectators. Well, there's a lot of debate about it, where it came from, but the helium is the one thing that a lot of people are keying in on right now. And the helium would be part of a bow wave of Nemesis, the brown dwarf at the core of the Planet X system. So we're seeing this happening. It's affecting weather on the planet. It's also going to be affecting in terms of earthquakes, volcanoes, this kind of stuff. So, you know, like, we're cranking up the heat on the tea kettle here.
Okay, but in terms of a cosmic, what do some of these things mean to people like us on good old planet Earth? I mean, are we going to get injured? Is something going to happen?
Well, that's the question I'm asking people to start thinking about instead of validation reporting and trying to see what's coming. And that's flash flood warning in my area.
I know. Where are you?
Where
are you right now?
We're in Reno, and we're getting hammered by
Are you getting rain in Reno?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
It's been grueling. So, you know, what people really need to do is they need to start thinking about all of the signs. There's a lot of suppression in the mainstream media. A lot of stuff is not being reported. We have crop failures around the world nobody knows about. How many people really know that under Naples is a supervolcano system and it's starting to go critical? There's all kinds of things happening around the globe. Folks cannot connect the dots. I'm trying to help them do it because I want them to start preparing, start getting their heads into the game. That's the problem. You know, it's just like I look at people and they're on the bench. They're second stringers on the bench. They don't want to get in the game. And you can sit here and look at YouTube videos until the cows come home. But if you're not mentally prepared for what's coming, you're going to die badly. Your family's going to die badly. You know, and so people think, well, okay, I'm going to go to Costco, get a bunch of buckets of free-dried food, put it in the garage. Okay?
No,
there you go.
That's what you're going to do.
But either way, if you stockpile it, you got to lug it. So you've got it in the garage. You've been telling all your neighbors about Planet X or whatever. They're all telling you you're crazy. Now the guacamole is hitting the fan. Things are really tough. Do you think they're going to walk up to you and say, well, you know, the family's going hungry, but...
They're going to take it.
Exactly.
Or try to.
That's right. So whatever you buy, you got to lug. And you may not be able to shelter in place. Shelter in place is a synonym for die in place.
Yeah, fascinating. Coming up in just a little while, we'll be talking about the worst case scenario if this planet were to get any closer to Earth. Listen to Way Out There on GJRB Online, the strange, the unusual, the things that go bump in the night, and some even things that are a bit on the strange side. Way Out There on GJRB Online. Glad you could join me. And talking a lot about the on our side too. The protesters are out and about again. Good post. I want to say hi to my friend Bill Edmondson. And before I get into any more on the on this strange thing, this Planet X, I want to talk about some of the things going on. I posted on this thing, by the way. It's snowing in Washington, D.C., and the snowflakes are out. Bill Edmondson posted only about 95 or so are terroristic. It's a shame that some people will do what will do when they don't get their way. Agreed. Send the dogs in, one person said. And it's amazing to me how I shouldn't put Fox News shows, Trump. Let's see, this is interesting. It really amazes me. This is Paul Dusenberry, okay? Bill Edmondson's site. Truly amazes me how it shouldn't put Fox News shows Trump at his luncheon praising people, but CNN would rather film the protesters at very sad media. Well, CNN. I call it the Communist News Network. That's what it is. I used to like CNN, but I do not like them no more. I always call them the Communist News Network, okay? That's the way I like to call them. And basically they are. It's just it's commie. It's the Communist News Network. So they're going to do their liberal stint and give the protesters their time on TV, and that is why they're protesting. By the way, this is it. This is why they do it, to get attention. To get attention. That's all that is. It's just an attention getter. That's all that is. And 5 o'clock, a little past it, here in Iowa, in Clinton, and in Pennsylvania, in New York, and Virginia, it's 6 o'clock. And in California, it is 3 o'clock. I'm Gary J. Rustin. This is Way Out There on GJRB, Clinton, Iowa. And we're doing NonStop Talk as we wrap up this last hour of Way Out There on GJRB Online. And that means we do not do no news. We just keep right on to going. Because at the last hour, we do NonStop Talk. And that means that we're just doing straightforward, no interruptions, no promo breaks, unless I really, really need them. And I try to even get aside here and take your phone calls at area code 563-613-4260 on our Freestyle Friday edition of Way Out There. And we were talking about, on our last 7 days, if you missed it, that is available all weekend here on GGRB Online. I didn't go to Bible study last night, so that is not on today. No Bible study this weekend. No Bible study podcast, but the Bible study from last week is still here on the GJRB Spreaker public site. On GJRB Pro, we got 100 hours of free space, and we're loading it with programs on GJRB Online. So pick a program, listen to it, enjoy it. Hope it's this one, this weekend, Way Out There on GJRB Online. Give me a call, area code 563-613-4260, and get on the program and talk about the strange stuff that I talk about today. And we have a lot of them up here. I've got some different ones, so if you want to be on the program, please do call and put your 2 cents worth in. We'd love to hear from you. Really do. I really want to get calls. I really want to make this show more interesting. Give me a call. Area code 613-563. Let's do that again. 613-4260. 563 area code 613-4260. Sometimes I forget my telephone number. I just do. I forget it and do not know why. I have no clue to that. For some reason, I forget my phone number. But let's see. We continue with this. We're doing the program, and we're doing Way Out There on GJRB Online, and we're talking about the potential for the end of the world here, folks. Not saying it's going to happen, but this Marshall Masters claims that there's a planet out there called Planet X, and it is hurling our way. And he says that possibility that we can have a pole shift. In this next segment, he talks about that scenario. Talks about that scenario of a pole shift. What is the likely scenario of this planet getting closer?
Okay. Well, I give this in my last book, Surviving the Planet X Tribulation. and being in it for the species. I go blow by blow. It's going to come out from behind the sun. It's going to reach its point of perihelion, its closest distance to the sun. When we see it at perihelion, that's when the bad times really, really begin. Now, it's going to go from perihelion to the ecliptic because it's going to be heading south again. And when it does that, it's actually going to fly over our heads. Nemesis, the brown dwarf, is going to pass between Mars and Jupiter. And when it reaches the ecliptic, think of it as the plane of the system, the sun's equator, if you just stretched it all the way out to the signs of the constellation. When it reaches that point, then we have the days of darkness.
Because it's blotting out the sun?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, this is actually the first guy to talk about this was not me. This was first in 2004 by Major Ed Dames.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they remote viewed. And he said a large planet passes between the Earth and the Sun, and it is a total blackout eclipse. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen.
How long does it blot out the sun?
It's going to be for a matter of several days. So
temperatures will plunge, I would guess, wouldn't they?
We're going to have all kinds of things, but even worse than that is that we're going to have this system and when it's doing this is its last hurrah before it heads south. And when it's in the southern skies, that's when it's not a problem. It's only when it's in that small duration where it's in the northern skies. But when it reaches there, all of these objects, you've got a bunch of planets and moons around this brown dwarf. And what they're going to do is get a lithosphere lock on the Earth. When that happens, our magnetosphere is going to ratchet down. The spin of the planet is going to slow, and then we're going to reverse direction. And so this is when we have the crustal pole shift, which means people living along the shorelines, they're all dead. And
and this happens every 3,600 years, Marshall?
Not every. The last flyby of the system was Exodus. That was the last flyby. There's a worst case and a best case scenario. Best case, that's a relative term here.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
That's like talking to a probate lawyer. But, in a best case scenario, when it reaches that point on the, when it's coming around, heading south, reaches the ecliptic. Now, during Exodus, Earth was on the opposite side of the sun. Problem is, this time around, it's going to be more akin to the deluge, Noah's flood. We're going to be on the same side of the sun as Nemesis and its mini constellation of planets and moons. And when that happens, man, there's going to be hell to pay. And if you're not below ground, you're not going to survive.
Well, we've got almost 8 billion people plus. Not all of them are going to be below ground, that's for sure.
A lot of them will be dead before that. People ask me, the question, well, if it was something this big, they would tell us. And it boggles my mind. Where is it written in the law that the government at some point stops lying to us?
Are you going to be one of those, Marshall, and this is a rhetorical question, take it for what it is, that when this happens, you're going to say, I told you so?
No, I'm going to be too busy saving everybody I can.
Good for you.
I think that's anybody who's, by the way, if that happens and you say, I told you so, guess what people are going to do?
They're going to attack you.
Yeah, some little 60-year-old gal with a PhD is going to lunge out of the crowd, point a finger at you and say, you're manifesting.
They're going to hit you with a baseball bat. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, or hang you. Because if they kill you, then you're not manifesting it anymore, and then it's all going to go away.
So buzz through the earth changes that could occur when this happens.
Well, when the earth changes come, first thing we're going to start happening is going to be a lot of volcanic and seismic activity. We're already seeing this.
I was just going to say
It's already ratcheting up. Next is going to come impact events. That's going to be the next thing. Then, once this thing crosses overhead, and it gets to the point where we have the lithosphere lock, that's what I call it, the gravitational pull. If the moon disappeared tomorrow, the surface of our planet would collapse 18 inches, and life would go back to single-cell animals. So, during this situation, when we have the pole shift, this is going to be the biggest dieback event for the species. Then the next thing that happens is we're going to fly through the tail. This thing is dragging all kinds of iron dust and whatnot.
How big's the tail? How long?
It's huge.
Millions of miles?
It's going to take us months to transit it.
Okay.
When we do go through it, it's going to take us months. Probably, if you got people in your community that are blind, because their other senses are enhanced, they're going to smell the iron before everybody else does. When these people are saying, I can smell iron, you got to get the ground. Get started. You need to have about 4 to 6 months of food and provisions stockpiled for that. It's going to be could be a very long transit.
Electrical power, what happens?
Well, everything at that point is going to be pretty brutal. We're going to have a lot of meteor showers, and these things are going to fall. They're going to be about the size of a boar's head, and they're going to come like a summer rain out of nowhere.
Ooh, you have a headache.
Even one of those, the size of a boar's head, as you say, could take out a building if it hit it directly, right?
A small building, yeah.
A small building, yeah.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, we've had a period here where, there's a lot of reports worldwide of gas explosions, natural gas explosions in homes and office buildings, people dying.
You think they got hit by something?
Yeah.
If it hit the ocean, would there be a tsunami, or are they too small?
Well, it's going to drill right through the water, hit the seabed. So you're going to have an impact. Depends on the size of the impactor. If you have a large impactor, yeah, it's going to generate a tsunami. But of equal importance, in both of my books, I have a scenario where we have a deep impact event off the coast of Europe, and it does a lot of damage. It hits a nexus of subsea fiber optic cables, so immediately communications.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's gone. But what happens is that when this thing hits, it creates 2 tsunami waves, forwards and backwards. The forward wave heads for Europe, North Africa, totally devastating. Paris and London, the water's just going to come right up the rivers and flood. But meanwhile, you have a wave that's already headed towards the United States. But it's the first of 2 waves that are going to hit, because something like that is going to send enough energy through the planet's crust that it's going to set off La Cumbre de Vija.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
That would create a tsunami that would take out the eastern coast of the United States.
That's right. That's right. So now you have, you're going to have 2 tsunamis probably within a few hours of each other. It's going to be a 1-2 punch, and that's it. From British Columbia down to Florida, arrivederci. It's all gone. But, also we have the other problem on the other side in the Pacific, because, in this scenario, this thing hits on the western edge of the Eurasian plate. That's the largest plate on the planet. Drives through to the eastern edge, comes out into the Pacific, and then the energy wave is directed by subsea mounts to the south, bounces off Antarctica, comes back up. So Hawaii gets nailed, Cascadia pops off, all those volcanoes up in the northwest, they're going to pop off. So it's just not going to be something where the East Coast gets hammered. The western U.S. is going to get hammered as well.
This is not pleasant, Marshall.
No, it's not. It's the reason why I want people to start thinking, because this is going to be, once this starts to unfold, it's going to be a decade-long tribulation. And you can stockpile freeze-dried food and all that, and that's great. Good for you.
You got a plan.
But that's a bridging. That's just a small bridging tool. That's enough to keep you alive until you can get something sustainable going. So my message to people right now is, what's more important than the having of things is the knowing of things. And so that is the direction we're going now. That's the reason why I just brought out my new book, Survival Wellness Advocacy and the Big Win. And it'll be up on Amazon in a few days. I'm selling autographed copies now. But I also have a PDF ebook free. People just go to my site, knowledgemountain.org, and they can download it anonymously.
Wow.
And I'm just trying to get people to, George, they got to get some skin in the game. They got to get off the bench.
Nobody will react, Marshall. Nobody will react until something major happens, and then people will panic like
because a lot of times they're called
that's the way it is.
I know.
And FEMA's not ready. FEMA's not ready for this. Poor Donald Trump coming into office. He's not going to be ready for this.
You know what, dollars to donuts? I think Trump knows a lot more about this than he lets on.
You think so? How?
Yeah. I think he would know about something like that.
Were you an advisor?
I wish, from your lips to God's ears. No, I just, it's, call it a gut instinct. That's it.
Yeah, gut instinct. That's his gut instinct, ladies and gentlemen. Marshall, I wrote a letter to the man. I haven't really sent it out. I typed it up, and I haven't printed it, and I haven't really decided whether or not I was going to send it, because I'm not sure he would even come on a unknown internet Spreaker talk show. But this man is fascinating, because he mentioned the West Coast, he mentioned the East Coast, he mentioned all that. What about the Midwest? How is the Midwest going to, figure in all this? That's a good question. What is the Midwest figuring all this? So if I hear him on another talk show, I will more than likely record that talk show with me on it as I call in with my little cell phone and ask that question. And I probably, no doubt, will. I'll be checking to see if he's on any other talk show. Like I said before, I could send it, but I can't guarantee he'll want to come on an unknown internet talk show. I just don't think so. So I'm going to see what I can do. But if there is anybody, I might do is kind of heard about Clinton, here in the Clinton colleges, especially CCC, and see if there's any experts on astronomy, anybody out there who maybe would like to come on this program and give their view of this thing, and their view of Planet X. And do they think that this thing's going to cause a disaster? This is something that would be important, but I could go to Jesus Christ because he knows all. I go to Jesus Christ and find out about this Planet X. Because, quite frankly, we don't know. This is just scientists who come up with this stuff, okay? This is just scientists who come up with these theories. And whether or not this is actually going to happen is a mystery. I don't know. I'm kind of I'm teetering on uncertainty. Matter of fact, on the Coast to Coast Instant Poll, that's what I put. The Coast to Coast Instant Poll had a question: do you believe a Planet X or Nibiru will pass through the inner solar system and wreak havoc on the Earth? Now, I don't know. This information could have changed. I'm not sure, but no, such a planet does not exist. 33. Now, there's more people who believe there's no such planet that exists. Out of the 4,372 votes on the Coast to Coast website, 33.65% believe there is no such planet. Out of the 3,824 votes, 29.43% say yes, sometime within the next 25 years. 3,410 votes, 26.24% say uncertain. I was one of them. And finally, yes, but hundreds of thousands of years from now. Very low percentage on this one. Out of 1,387 votes, 10.67%. Out of the total votes, 12,993. But the highest votes at 33.65%. I'm going to check to see what the current one is. I should have saved this page to see if there's been any updates on that. But 33.65% say that there is no such planet existing. So your opinion is welcome. Area code 563-613-4260. I just posted this show and GJRB online. You can get on my Pinterest page, Gary Rustin Pinterest page, and you can listen to this show right on Pinterest. So if you want to get aboard, please do. Area code 563-613-4260. We're headed to the final part of Way Out There for this afternoon here on GJRB Online, and we'll have about 45 or less so minutes to conversate about this whole planet thing. And I didn't have time for Linda Moulton Howe's Earth Files today, but I wanted to do a little bit on that noise that apparently people have been hearing again. Linda Moulton Howe's Earth Files. Apparently, there's been some reports of more trumpet sounds, booming, and Godzilla-type sounds being heard in various states. California is one of them. Washington State. I believe also in there is Pennsylvania, West Virginia, I think, and a few others. It's pretty much being spotty across the country, but people are hearing these noises. What sounds like scraping, what sounds like Godzilla, or a loud boom. If you've heard these, give me a call at area code 563-613-4260. Area code 563-613-4260, and get on Way Out There and talk about it with me. All right, tell you what we're going to do right now, though. We're headed into the Gun Lap Minute, this segment. So what I'm going to do is give you a preview of what we got coming up, and I'm going to take a break real quick here and take a promo break. And come back, and we're going to continue Way Out There here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Hope you're enjoying the program wherever you may be listening across America. We'll be right back. I got more coming up here on GJRB Online on Spreaker for more Way Out There. The strange, the bizarre, the unusual on the Friday afternoon. And I'm Gary J. Russin. We'll be right back.